when the Earth descended into the third dimension and the planetary logos, the soul of the Earth, entered a new cycle of experience, humans reached the zenith of their polarity consciousness. To this day, the cycle of opposites and the feeling of separation has prevailed. One could say that when Atlantis and its continent sank, the Earth left the fourth and fifth dimensions to enter the realm of the three-dimensional material structure. With the fall in the third dimension, the remaining human race lost consciousness of the oneness of all things. Polarity awareness took over, and instead of harmony, more and more opposites entered the consciousness and the actions of human beings. Even the elite priesthood was affected, and they dogmatically defended their truths. Two major brotherhoods arose on Earth, both influenced by Shambhala and Agartha. Together they are called the Brotherhood of the Snake. Shambhala was the seat of the evocation of the Masters of Wisdom. Agartha was the seat of the invocation of the Masters of Wisdom. Together, they embodied the universal polarity of opposites. In the outer world, each brotherhood held the other one to be the Dark Brotherhood, the Black Magicians. The battle between the polarities of the brotherhoods took place over an incredibly long period and reached its peak in the Second World War. The two opposites, the Sun, Illuminati, and the Moon, Luminari, face each other and struggle for power, yet neither of them can win or overcome polarity. Humanity was influenced by these two contrasting areas of wisdom. All true governing bodies were visited by agents of these brotherhoods and were partly initiated in the evolution plan of humankind. In ancient times, the Brotherhood of the Serpent divided into the Brotherhood of the Yellow Dragon and the Brotherhood of the Red Dragon. Together, they formed the Brotherhood of the Snake. Both undertook the spiritual education of the human race, the Yellow Dragon in the east and the Red Dragon in the west. We can still find the Order of the Yellow Caps and the Order of the Red Caps and their monasteries, which date from that time, scattered throughout Tibet. The spiritual warriors of Shambhala and Agartha foretold that at the end of the cycle of declines, when the final prophecy of the spiritual battle on Earth would be fulfilled, they would return to reveal the truth and herald the passing of the Dark Age into the Golden Age. The survivors of Atlantis were the chosen seeds of the fifth root race from which humanity originated. Over many thousands of years, the maturing humankind went into a deep and amazing state of consciousness. The extraterrestrial carriers of light gave the surviving Atlantean priests instructions to start the Brotherhood of the Serpent. The third unknown power to influence the brotherhoods was the eagle, symbolizing the Space Brotherhood. They inspired each brotherhood and their worldly kings to build empires. All wars were instrumental in introducing new historical eras and in creating the history of the human race. It was the old game: when two parties fight, the third party and its agenda remain hidden. Thus, all world leaders were led by the third power in order to fulfill the world plan of creation. The light carriers from the Federation, also called the Guardians of God, introduced on Earth a secret education program in order to guide the worldly humans in their evolution plan towards completion.
They are akin to what we call in the biblical tradition the archangelic, or in the Eastern tradition the avatars or maha-avatars, those who bring the divine science or the Dharma, the teachings of light. It is from these higher levels that we will see the fulfillment of what is prophesied in the Old and New Testament with the coming of Melchizedek, Lord Melchizedek, one who initiated Abraham, as we are told in the book of Genesis chapter 14, and one of which the Christ figure in the New Testament book of Hebrews was connected with. They are members of the higher angelic brotherhoods of light who will intervene and change the world from a material-based culture under the control and dictatorship of those who control the financial, the political, and scientific power to one of true spiritual liberation. I believe this will take place in the beginnings of the 21st century, and in the next 20 years we will see rapid change and disintegration of the old rights and privileges, the orders that we have thought about historically as the mystical orders and brotherhoods assigned with Archangel Michael, Gabriel, Raphael. In the East, the great avatars will be seen as part of the Great White Brotherhood, or those who have the Christ appearance, those who have the appearance of Adam, the first parent, symbolically of the human race, so that we know our identity, we know our cosmic origin, we know our cosmic future. We must avoid contact with these lower forms of manipulation, control, and power.
At times, the Brotherhood sent messengers to Earth with secret missions. They sought out the spiritual heirs and the worldly leaders of the different epochs and gave them new instructions. The Count of Saint-Germain appeared across several centuries in Europe and finally disappeared during his journey through Asia. The decline of the human consciousness after Atlantis was part of God's deliberate plan in order to move the souls towards completion. Nothing could hinder it, because the web of the planet's basic energy and its electromagnetic radiation increasingly distorted the consciousness of people. Whenever the time was right, they brought new consciousness impulses to the leaders of humankind. This happened through the messengers from the cities of the inside of the earth. Some came as incarnated masters, others as emissaries. Since the destruction of Atlantis, the Brotherhood of the Illuminati prevailed. It started as a sun supremacy with all its masculine attributes. All Western cultural circles carry the symbol of the snake, the pyramid, or the obelisk, which point to the masculine power of the cosmos. Churches and high-rise buildings in our civilization indicate the strength of the male omnipotence. The Sun Masters are the architects of all Western cultures and are now striving to reach prominence through the ruling of the global world order. They all serve Shambhala and work with the Red Dragon, the red-capped Tibetans who are the worldly representatives of Shambhala. The aim of the Brothers of Shambhala, together with their worldly leaders, the Illuminati, is to establish a global world government. The Brotherhood represents the earthbound powers, the Omegapole, the builders of matter. World politics and religions have the same objective. They obey some brotherhood or priesthood, using different means to obtain this single objective. Hence, since the battle in Atlantis, the Brothers of Shambhala have led the spiritual elite to build diverse world empires.
Who are the Illuminati? That's one of the most interesting questions that one would never find answered in the academic textbooks. The information about it is missing from the public libraries. However, after years of research and primarily association with the large American dissident political community, I have discovered for myself knowledge and books that normally is simply impossible to get. It has been deleted from the public libraries in the best Orwellian tradition by probably the Illuminati themselves. Whether the Illuminati are the topmost layer of the secret societies on the planet is not that important a question. There may be other levels above them. What is important is that the Illuminati are the interface between the secret societies, this pyramid of secret societies on the planet, and the extraterrestrials above them. They are many books that indicate that, let's call it the Politburo, the Illuminati has members that are either extraterrestrials that beam down for every meeting, or even the rumor is that Lord Maitreya himself may be materializing for some of the more important meetings that they have. So basically, the Illuminati are the quiet, underground, low-key interface between our secret terrestrial government and aliens above it, aliens who themselves are subcontracting for even higher levels of celestial management structures. What is the political program of the Illuminati? What is their political manifesto? Comrade Lucifer is known in the celestial nomenclature as the bright morning star. So anything that is associated with light, anything that has a light in its title, a book that talks a lot about life rather than about love, is probably inspired by the Luciferian, by the Illuminati presence on the planet. And basically the Illuminati are the secret political party that has to prepare the political, the philosophical, the religious, and the cultural groundwork for the establishment of, should we call it the second coming?